Hi friends, this is another messy tale. It's not going to be a very long one, but it is an interesting one. So we have from Neighborhood Talk, and it's basically breaking down Amara La Negra's meltdown that she had on TV. Now I believe she's from Love and Hip Hop. I don't know whether it's Miami, Atlanta, New York, I don't know which one, but she's from the serialized TV show Love and Hip Hop. And in this clip screenshot, you can see she's tearful. She's, here expressing how she's trying to move on with her life, but she can't because this guy keeps giving her maybes. And here she's like, I need you and I want you to see the value in me. And that's her hope. She's hoping that one day he'll see the value in her. So there's going to be two links in the description so you can check out two video clips of this scene. So in the little small pictures, you have Amara with her two kids. These are the two kids, two girls she has with this man called Allan, I believe. And then that's her in a picture with him. Now, it's actually really embarrassing because she has currently got these twins with him, but this is a married man. And then I'm just going to scroll through. These are some comments we'll look at in a bit, but there's another clip. The second link is to this clip where she basically says to the guy, look, if we're never going to be a household together raising these two twins, to a married man, I, however, don't want to have multiple baby daddies for my kids, and I want to have more kids. So she's asking him, can he put it in a cup? That clip is also wild. Y'all have to watch it because his response is to basically say, essentially, he doesn't want to put it in a cup. If he's going to do this thing, he's going to do it the natural way. She's like, I don't want the natural way. I want it in a cup. He's like, well, the two girls we have are smart because I didn't put it in a cup. So she's like, okay, that's not really what I want to do. He's like, but regardless, I'm going to have to ask my wife. He's a married man. And she seems to be very like blasé about the whole thing, as though to say like, well, if he puts it in a cup, even though he's married, what does that matter? Like, he's just a donor. Absolutely wild, absolutely wild. So the order or chronology of which clip happened first, I'm not sure about because I don't watch the show. I don't plan to watch the whole show. I'm just saddened to see Amara is beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. She's in shape. She's gorgeous. But she's clearly insecure. She's clearly lacking on so many levels and lacking something really crucial to be entertaining this, to be crying in this manner for a married man. And it's the fact that she says, and they quote here, if we're never going to be a household, then I'll be a single mother and continue having a broken home. You were never in a non-broken home. You were always a single mother. You were a woman that had kids with a man that was already married. And now you're asking this man who clearly did not value his marriage to try and see some value in you. This is crazy. Here she says you've always been married. So she went into this both eyes open. And now she's shocked that this is a man that isn't picking her, that doesn't see the value in her. He doesn't value anything in his life. He probably doesn't value the marriage he's in because he didn't value the vows, at least, unless that's an open marriage. As I said, I'm not going to watch the show. I'm not going to go into his backstory. But on the surface, if he's having to discuss with his wife, maybe they have an open marriage. Maybe it's a thing that could be facilitated. Who knows? But the way she's hinting at why he won't pick her and look how red her eyes are. This is a woman that is either advocating that he leaves his wife for her, or as you see in some comments, they're like, are you wanting to do sister wives? Like, make it make sense. How can you how can you raise your kids in a household with your baby daddy who is a married man, married before you even had the kids with him? So let's go through some interesting comments I saw. This is a really good comment by Dope Goddess. She says, no matter what platform she sees this video of Amara crying, it's still heartbreaking to watch. And I agree with that. I'm always disappointed if I see women really embarrassing themselves on the internet, on national TV, because this is a situation of her own making and choosing. And she essentially is counseling Amara to basically say, if he is giving you a constant maybe, and this is referencing to when she's like, I can't move on because you keep giving me hope. That's not a yes. If it's not a yes, it's a no. And this is really good advice because this woman goes on to be like, you can move on and find a better person. Well, she needs to do some work before that because who knows if she'll keep picking the same terrible men. But this really good summary by Genesis S. Pierce is where she says, I hope women learn that indecision and no clarity are an answer. 100%. If a man can't clearly commit and say yes to you, he is not leaving you in limbo. You are refusing to listen. Again, I agree. I hope all women find men that are sure and never settle for confusion. This is a really good point. When she's crying, saying, I hope one day you'll see the value in me, impossible. How can he? If he did, he would already have done the right thing by you long ago and by his wife as well, should they not be in an open marriage. She's hopeful that she can move on from his maybes. No, you're choosing to hear what you want to hear. That man has already told you no. You've always been married. You should never have entertained anything with this man until he was free of that marriage, because that's why you're now in the situation you're in, Amara. Then this was another interesting, in my opinion, more funny take, but still some good advice. This person says, Ruby Redux, I think is how you say it. Amara, you want a man cheating on his wife and having kids outside his marriage to see the value in you? Side eye? I mean, excellent point being made here. And I do agree. I hope this level of stupidity never finds any one of us, because this is really terrible to get to the stage that he's brought you so low that you cry like this on national TV, on the internet, where it's going to live forever. And the bit I want to quickly take us through is this bit. Watch the second link, because this gives you insight into the whole discussion they had about putting it in a cup and all the rest of that. But honestly and truly, this is just such a massive, upsetting lack of self-respect. This is the comment I was looking for. One day you'll see value in me is exactly the phrase she was quoted as saying, and she's saying this to a married man that's cheating on his wife. And this person makes the comment, even he's not being valuable. He doesn't value anyone in his life at the moment, you know. And this was inspired by Kinessa, and I can't help but agree even more. There's no point asking for value in someone who doesn't value themselves, you know. And this is just basically the funniest one to end on, which is this. I believe her username is Just Peachy. This is water under the bridge, baby. Married baby daddy, meaning he was someone's husband before he fathered her children. She's asking it as a question, but I believe that's been confirmed. What I don't know is if he's in an open marriage. I don't know much about his own actual situation, but it's giving more so he stepped out of his marriage. That's the vibe. And then this Just Peachy carries on to say, she, as in Amara, is better off begging the wife for sisterhood than begging this dude to leave the wife. And I agree. And I think really and truly, we hope to never put ourselves in situations where we're crying for a man who's married, already stepped out on the marriage to have kids with you, and you're asking him, can we be a household for our kids? Otherwise, I'll continue to have a broken home. You sound like you tried to break his home. You were never in a home that could be broken, and you have always been a single mother. It's just the most messed up situation, and I just hate to see someone this emotional over someone that clearly does not want the best for her. And she does not want the best for herself, but I don't know where that comes from, and she needs to find the right therapist to work through these issues. And I'm just equally saddened because she's raising two daughters, and I really do not want her to pass on this trauma to them, where they now go on to pick terrible men. But yeah, this was an interesting topic I came across, and I'm going to put the links in the description so you guys can check it out. But let me know your views in the comments. What do we think? How do we feel? I'm not going to watch Love and Hip Hop. It just doesn't sound like my jam. But I'm just always disappointed if I have to see anybody, but especially a woman, embarrassing themselves on TV in this manner. Until next time, guys.